Welcome to episode 19 of Let There Be Rock. Today we're going to look at the heart of rock and roll, the anger of rock and roll, the punk of rock and roll. In 1977, you're going to have a band called the Sex Pistols emerge. The Sex Pistols comes out of London, fronted by Johnny Rotten and Sid Vicious up there. This band was a take no prisoners, unapologetically punk rock band. And they took on everybody, including the Queen of England. This is the Sex Pistols, God Save the Queen. I like this better than Anarchy in the UK, which is their bigger hit. This was a big hit. In the age of Margaret Thatcher, this song was controversial. Calling the Queen's regime fascist. It's amazing that this song didn't get banned in England. They didn't play it on BBC Radio for a long time. The Sex Pistols were an underground phenomenon. They're going to change punk rock. And they're going to influence things like hair metal later on. Bands like Motley Crue are going to steal a lot of their style and sound from the Sex Pistols.
I do not regret nor retract one word of it.
The self-proclaimed greatest band in the world is The Clash. The Clash had a bunch of hits. But in 1976, in February, they're going to record the song White Riot. And by March, it's released. White Riot is going to be everywhere. Let's listen to a little bit of The Clash. That riff there, the guitar, is phenomenal. The Brits were taking over punk rock. This is real rock and roll to me. That's a typical punk rock style voice. You can hear the influence of early blues shouters in there. I can hear the call and repeat of blues in this. It's just fun rock and roll. When you talk about the golden age of punk, you have to talk about the Dead Kennedys with their phenomenal lead singer, Jello Biafra. Now, the Kennedys kept it real simple. They had simple chords, played very, very fast and quick songs, led by this obscenely different voice that Jello Biafra has, almost a mechanical, robotic sound to the voice sometimes. The music was incredibly political and incredibly left. It was the perfect music to balance off the conservatism of the Reagan generation. Recorded in 1979, released in 1980, this is Holiday in Cambodia by the Dead Kennedys. Love those drums. Almost sounds like a 60s television series, like a spy movie or something. It's got that feel about it. Sometimes this is called surfer punk. Typical Jello Biafra vocals.
You know how the niggas feel cold and the sun's got so much so it's time to taste what you lost there. Right, God will not help you here. Release yourself, release.
So simple, so angry.
It's a holiday in Cambodia.
And what a hook.
You suck like a leech, you want everyone to act like you. Kiss ass for your bitch so you can get rich, but your boss can switch her off you. Well, you'll work harder with a gun in your back for a bowl of rice a day. Slaves or soldiers till you starve and your head is where people are one. Now you can go where they get things done. What you need, my son? What you need, my son? It's a holiday in Cambodia where people dress in black. Need a holiday in Cambodia where no kids ask what's wrong.
In 1958, Johnny O'Keefe and the DJs recorded a song called Wild One. It was a pretty big hit, but it's going to be covered by none other than Iggy Pop in 1986 on the album Blah Blah Blah. And his version is going to be called Real Wild Child. Let's listen to Iggy Pop, Real Wild Child.
I'm a real wild one, wild one, wild one, wild one.
You're listening to it in your headphones, you can hear it going from channel to channel. Iggy always had more of a punk show than a punk sound to me. His sound was very rock and roll to me, but his life was punk. Iggy was notorious for doing things like cutting himself on stage and bleeding. He was a bit of a punk. Just sounds like 50s rock and roll to me. And that guitar, very reminiscent of surfer guitar. I can hear the influence of new wave with the drum machine sound in the background. I don't think that is a drum machine, but it's got that repetition to it. I'd love to see Iggy in concert. The year was 1986. The hardcore punk sound of the 1970s had been watered down by new wave bands like Blondie and Berlin, Devo. And we've kind of lost some of that grit, that strength that we had with the old punk rock. But that's going to get revived by a band called Bad Brains. The song was called Eye Against Eye, the year 1986. And this song has been called everything from punk rock to hardcore to thrash metal to funk metal. But I think all in all, Bad Brains is pure punk rock. Love that opening guitar. Those drums are reminiscent of hardcore rock and roll. Listen to that guitar. You can definitely hear the influence of bands like Black Sabbath in here. It's got a lot more style to it than the punk rock of, say, the Sex Pistols or the Ramones. That's very Dead Kennedy-ish there in the background. I can hear reminiscence of Soup is Good Food. The voice is very much like a Jello Biafra of the Dead Kennedys. He was just so angry, and I remember I loved it. A lot of us old school punkers that fell in love with that simple sound from the 1970s thought punk rock was dead, but it wasn't. It was just resting. And I think as long as there's a large part of society that feels like they're being ignored and a large youthful population, there will always be punk rock. And in 2009, the band Death released the song Politicians in My Eyes. Let's listen to a little bit of Death, Politicians in My Eyes.
1, 2, 3, now!
Feels like that old 70s punk rock, doesn't it? That bass is sweet. It's got a funky backbeat there. Again, the voice, very much a punk rock voice. Still very influenced by Jello Biafra.
They could care less about you, they could care less about me. As long as they are put in the place that they want to be. They're always wearing small smiles, like they go with the style. Politicians in my eyes.
It's just so simple, and there's something about that that's so punk rock.
Always trying to be slick when they tell us that they're responsible for sending young men to die. We have waited so long for someone to come along and correct our conduct wrong, but the wait's been too long. It's really sickening to see the way they lie on TV. Something daddy can be a better man than you see. But when decisions come, that's when they have all the fun. Politicians in my eyes. They're always trying to convince you like you don't have the sense. They look just like kings and queens, but they do real stupid things. That they use to shut them down because you're their biggest friends. Politicians in my eyes. Reaching out, shaking
If there's a living godfather of punk rock, it's got to be Henry Rollins. Henry Rollins cut his teeth as a replacement singer for Black Sabbath, but he quickly outshined the previous version of Black Sabbath, and they got bigger than ever. Now that's big for punk rock. Henry Rollins is quickly going to outgrow this punk rock scene that had existed before, and he has some other versions of himself. Henry Rollins with the Rollins Band that we're going to listen to today with his song Liar, but also modern Henry Rollins, political and social philosopher, comedian, spoken word artist. But Henry Rollins at his heart has something to say. And to me, that's the heart of rock and roll. And that's the heart of punk rock. Let's listen to 1994's Liar by the Rollins Band. It opens so sweet, so clean, very unlike anything else Henry Rollins does.
So you think you're gonna live your life alone, in darkness and seclusion? Yeah, I know. You've been out there and tried to mix with the animals, and it just left you full of humiliated confusion.
It's really poetry.
But the feeling of loneliness never leaves you. It haunts you everywhere you go. And then you meet me, and your whole world changes. Because everything I say is everything you've ever wanted to hear. So you drop your
You can
defenses,
relate to this,
and you drop all your fears.
but you're just waiting. When is it going to
So
become
busy
punk rock?
feeling good that you never question why things are going so well.
And the guitars come in.
Why?
And that's the Rollins voice we all know. You gotta let it. It has something to say.
I'll hide behind a smile and understanding eyes. And I'll tell you things that you already know, so you can say, I really identify with you so much. I'll come to you like an affliction, but I'll leave you like an addiction. You'll never forget me. You wanna know why? 'Cause I'm a liar. Yeah, I'm a liar. I'll rip your mind out. I'll burn your soul. I'll turn you into me. I'll turn you into me. 'Cause I'm a liar, a liar. Liar, 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 liar. I don't know why I feel the need to lie and cause you so much pain. Maybe it's something inside. Maybe it's something I can't explain. 'Cause all I do is mess you up and lie to you. I'm a liar. Oh, I'm a liar. But if you give me just one more chance, I swear I will never lie to you again. Because now I see the destructive power of a lie. They're stronger than truth. I can't believe I ever hurt you. I swear I will never lie to you again. Please, just give me one more chance. I will never lie to you again. I swear. I will never tell a lie. I will never tell a lie. No. No. Sucker! Sucker! Oh, sucker! I am a liar! Yeah! I am a liar! Yeah! I like it! I feel good! Oh,
I promise.
While punk rock has traditionally been kind of a all-white, all-boys club, that's changing. As recently as 2019, a band called the 1865 has come out. 1865 in their name comes from the end of the U.S. Civil War, and the 1865 is an African-American punk band from New York. They're going to put this song out called Buckshot. And when I first heard this song, I was blown away. 2019, the 1865 Buckshot. All one channel, coming over. You can hear the influence of not just punk, but hard rock and roll.
I'm running
Voice still very
like
punk.
OJ through the fields. These murders make me feel whole again. Stale vittles and hand-me-down weapons. Praying for apes America while the suns just ride the wind.
Angry with a political message. This is the root of punk rock. I think with 2020 being what it is, we're due for some punk rock.